Now, the greatest story never told with Miles and Thrill.
Oh, welcome to the greatest story never told. I think we've done 75 episodes?
75.
75 episodes. This is, I'm sorry if this is episode number 75.
We are working hard.
Of the greatest story never told. Actually, I think it's like 21?
21.
21?
We have done 21. I believe 20 will be available when you hear this.
Okay. So we've learned a lot. We've learned that in our personal life, to do this podcast, the first thing is that we need to filter a lot of this information. And the reason that we need to filter a lot of this information is because, honest to God, we would be self-incriminating on myself and Steve.
Sure.
Yeah. Timeline thing, right? So we do the best we can to tell you these stories. So we are in the middle of this coronavirus thing, right? Mm-hmm. And we're not sure if this is going to get scrubbed or not, because it might, because we don't know the extent of how funny this might be, but we know for a fact that with the virus and all that stuff, you got to wash your hands, you've got to be diligent, you need to just basically listen to what people are saying in basic common sense. Is that fair?
Yeah, well, it depends who you listen to, but yes.
So everyone says cough with your mouth covered.
They cover my mouth with someone else's hand, and people get upset.
They say sneeze. You stick your elbow in. Ted's always big on the elbow sneeze. By the way, Ted is the one who uses the most tissues and leaves them on his desk, and is the one that has a bigger problem than we do on this for obvious reasons. But either way, But we started to think about farting.
Well, sure.
Because, there's two chutes. There is the chute that you burp, that you sneeze, that you cough out of, and there's another chute which you do your thing, but you also fart. Mm-hmm. So is it okay, or should it be acceptable to cover your fart?
Now, you can laugh about it.
Not to cup it. I'm being dead serious.
But people have Googled this to find out whether or not, with the coronavirus thing, because, like I said, information from the top, meaningless. So everyone's trying to figure out, okay, what legitimately do I have to worry about? We know to wash our hands. That's the standard stuff. But a lot of Google searches have been, can I get coronavirus? So if someone has coronavirus and they fart, can I get coronavirus? Now,
Seriously,
it might sound ridiculous, but here's the thing.
It's not.
I don't know the answer.
Okay.
Maybe.
So what we know is that, and I know this personally for many years, is that Steve farts constantly.
All the time.
So I am worried. Like, I am legitimately, look at me, Mike, I am really worried about this because
you got nothing to worry about.
We know the front end of this situation, kind of. We don't know the back end of this situation.
But if you can get it from that, then Miles, you've got it. Stop worrying.
Steve,
and welcome to the world.
Steve.
Welcome to my
Our
virus.
own production director, VD we call him, Jason, Veggie Dog, right? He comes in with this huge sty on his eye. Now, I know how he caught it. He caught it from the back end of his dog in a leash that needs to be washed.
Right.
He picked up some poop and did not throw it in my can, which I appreciate. But he still has this huge sty, right? So to me, like, maybe I'm being paranoid, but farting is just as crazy as a sneeze.
Then I have terrible news for you.
Yes.
Now, look, Ted covers his sneezes, but when I fart, there's underwear and pants in front of it. Ted does not have, like, a T-shirt and then another shirt in front. You get more filter with my pants than you're going to get from
This is not about your fart.
Oh,
in this
cool.
one instance, you get a pass.
Look, we were talking about this the other day.
You get a pass.
We're talking about
the first time ever.
The other day on the air, and I do fart all the time. It's notorious. Anyone that works with me knows this. But we remembered a time when Ted had farted during the show, and it was a very, very bad fart. And keep in mind, we're just remembering that this happened. So we're kind of reminiscing about this. But my point was, because I fart so much, the boss smells this in the hall, assumed it was me. I, of course, denied it. And this is the one and only time that my fart denial was true, to be fair. But he was mad about it, but it was that bad. And we were talking about this the other day during the show. Oddly enough, we get an email the next day from a listener, and I love that our listeners do this. Yeah. It blows my mind. The guy goes, hey, man, you were talking about that the fart that Ted had that got blamed on you, but it was that bad.
A listener, all due credit, John Pinkerton.
But in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, okay, cool. He remembers that episode. No,
this
it goes,
big fart.
It goes beyond that. So as I'm reading his email, I realize, well, what is this link to YouTube? All right, seriously, it's the email we get from the guy. Oh, I remember this. He has the audio He has
of the fart.
This is like 7, 8, 9 years ago, man.
Again, this is not Steve's fart. For the first time ever, we do not have to deal with just the nastiness of Steve's ass, which, by the way, is a very unique, and I know that everyone's...
It's not unique. It's personalized. I don't appreciate how you say, it's personal. Like when you go to someone's house, their house generally smells the same. That's just the
Mike,
scent
if we're together, if we're a couple, you fart on the covers, eventually I'm gonna catch your scent, right?
Correct.
I'm gonna know what you're brewing, right? That's kind of everyone's fart is their own personal touch.
Yes.
This
Thank you
fart
for saying
was
personal.
so well. It is. I mean, it's a personal.
It absolutely
It's
is.
just like your breath. I mean, like
Yes. God almighty.
So okay, we've been through that too, but as far as farts go, there are some that just go to a different level. So we talked about this the other day as far as how Ted let this fart out, and it was so bad.
So bad.
I'm telling you, it quarantined about a fourth of a floor of a high-rise, okay?
It was unbelievable how bad it was, how thick it was, and how much it just didn't move.
Yeah, I mean, it was
It's
sick.
like, you know, when a hurricane comes in and they go, hey, man, part of the reason that this particular city is going to get inundated with rain, it's because the hurricane has stopped moving forward, and now it's just dumping rain, but it's not moving. And that's the way this fart was. Like, the front stopped moving and all that. But this guy sent us the clip because he actually, which, again, made me chuckle. But what makes it even sillier is the conversation, because I would have never remembered this, the conversation that we were having before the fart happened. So years and years and years ago, this is funny, but it's not. And I want to say it's the state of Indiana. I do not remember the city, but there was a 4-term mayor. And this 4-term mayor,
He done everything for them.
everything that made this city viable now is a result of the legislation he did. He's one of these forward-thinking guys.
Yeah,
He did a great thing.
yeah.
His kids are still heavily involved in the community. And his kids, mind you, they're like 40, 50 years
So
old.
what do you do with someone who's really, really involved? You name a street after him. You
building.
name a building. You do something that said, like, look, man, this guy did some stuff.
Commemorate this man.
Right.
Especially locally in this city. But there's one problem.
Yeah. Do you want to tell him?
The guy, and we're not making this up. I forgot about this until we heard this clip. So just understand what you're going to hear in the clip before you hear the fart. The guy's name, and the city was having a debate about this because they really want to honor him, but his name, they wanted to name a building after him, but the guy's name, 4-term mayor, Harry Balls.
Harry Balls.
Swear to
So
God.
we
that
thought
is his name.
we thought maybe what else could you do with Harry Balls? As far as, I mean, like
If you're not going to do
allowing
a
his
building.
legacy to stand. So do you do like a Harry Balls public house? Where you do a bar, and you go into Harry Balls and you get a beer and you hang out with your friends, and it's based on the fact that he built this community.
No, I think you do the Harry Balls Highway or the Harry Balls Bridge, because once you cross this bridge,
You're in Brazil.
there's the Harry Balls building. I mean, but that's the guy's name. But he did
guy's
great
name's Harry
stuff.
Balls. We totally forgot about this, right? But we honestly got thought about.
But this is
like,
true.
Like the Harry Balls Library doesn't sound too bad.
What about the
But
Harry
it's
Balls
only
Center?
It's only going to contain Penthouse and Playboy up until about 1993.
Would you take your
and
kid-
then you can't have Harry Balls' stuff in there anymore.
Would you take your
'Cause-
kid to the Harry Balls Children's Hospital?
Yeah.
Because that's the guy's name. So
Right.
get your mind out of the gutter. This guy did some good.
He did great stuff.
Harry Balls Clown School.
We forgot about all this. So anyway, so we in the midst of all this,
Harry Balls Diner.
and you're saying, well, why does this all matter?
It does.
We're talking about Harry Balls, and at this point in time, the one person who does not fart normally like that, normally like Steve, is Ted. And Steve got blamed for it. Talked about it on the air the other day, like how Dave came in and just said, "Hey, man,
What is wrong with you?"
Like what? Like please, seriously, stop eating fried food." Dave's got his lines that he uses. These square objects you eat,
Right.
all these things,
Fried shapes,
and
he
then he'll
calls
go
them.
home and go like, "Well, I had a vegan salad last night." Well, that's great.
And I'm the bad
But
father.
back then, like we're derelicts, like we are now, and so the assumption is that Steve is the one who's farted.
Not true.
Now, in the midst of all this, and I'm saying like a mist is in like a fart mist, we are having a discussion about Harry Balls. So why don't we go back in time?
Time?
Yeah, time, and tell you what was going on when Ted farted while we were talking about hairy balls.
Well, hey, man, we should name it after this guy. But as soon as they did that, then people nationally were like, absolutely name it the Harry Balls Building.
That was Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Okay.
It's BALS.
God damn, Kev.
Here's the...
God.
Oh, man, what's going on?
That's the moment.
What happened?
Wow.
I don't know.
Why are you waving it at me?
Because I don't want it near me, man.
God almighty. I brought it.
Holy God, man.
I was trying to
Whoa.
Yeah.
Jeez. Are my farts this bad ever?
Yes.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, that's like you just pooped.
yeah, that was silent and warm.
That was really just straight up poop.
You need to... Dude,
No
I cannot...
compassion.
No, I need to poop.
Oh, you do have to poop.
Yeah, but we were in the middle of the segment, so I was like, I can't go poop right now.
You trying to squeeze one out?
So it just went.
Can you do it on the 15th floor, man?
Trust me, that's bad.
Now-
That offended me.
Now,
I farted.
In all honesty, most people don't say their first and last names when they introduce themselves to someone else. You say, "Hi, I'm Ted. Hi, I'm Steve. I'm Ben,"
Harry
whatever.
Balls.
But I wonder, how many times he introduced himself with his full name.
Well, he probably did because he was a mayor,
God
you know? So,
damn, that's thick.
yeah, Ted,
Yeah.
this is
I told you,
unbelievable.
man, it was a mess. I'm a mess today.
You think it was the oyster?
One oyster
One
could
oyster?
not do that.
I think it might have.
It wasn't the oyster. You know how I know it wasn't the oyster? I feel bad. This guy's still on the line, but. All right, full disclosure, I was choking on that oyster.
You choked on it?
Yes. When I was sitting there kind of looking at you at Hair Club, I was like,
You didn't look so hot there, Ted.
Yeah, I thought you were just watering
it
up.
was literally choking. It was stuck in there, and I couldn't breathe.
All right.
That's why. It's like, I know it
Why
wasn't
didn't
the
you
oyster.
say? Why didn't you say
I can't breathe.
Because I was like, it's an oyster in my head. I was like, calm down. It'll
That would've
slide
been great.
down.
We could have
Not swallow an oyster.
We could have Heimlicked you.
Like, oysters are, like, designed to fall down your throat, man.
Ben, could you tell I was choking on?
No, you looked like you were dying, yeah. And he's like,
didn't do anything.
Ted's like, oh, it was just a horseradish. I'm fine. And his eyes are watering.
I know,
He's
it's
like
like,
coughing.
Okay.
You didn't, I mean, you pulled out of it all right, so it wasn't an issue.
I
But
didn't-
yeah,
I
you
didn't
didn't
know
look
you were-
great.
I didn't
Yeah,
know
that's
you were
why I was
dying.
just, it was, Miles, I was right, 2 more seconds, I would have been like, I'm choking. But I coughed it, and I was like, all right.
Okay. Phew, bad idea.
Sorry, Mark, man. That
go
was an
ahead.
unexpected fart, bro. And that,
Sorry,
this
Mark.
thing is...
It's thick.
This thing, it's thick like pudding. Like, I feel like it's on me, man.
You're swimming in pudding?
Yeah, I mean...
Butt
like,
pudding.
God
I
almighty.
farted, and I feel like I need a shower.
Dude, I mean, that is an incredible fart.
God, are you coming out with us tonight?
Holy...
No.
Good.
I sold my tickets.
Good, dude. Pearl
Yeah.
Jam would stop the show like, hey,
Oh, man.
when it was like 20,000, somebody farted bad, man.
on.
You,
I was like, I
you gotta
stupid.
go.
And then the gout fired up. I can't walk around. You have no idea.
You're like an old man.
I'm just sitting here right now, and I keep going in my head like, I'm in pain. Like, I'm in so much pain right now. I just want to go home and go to sleep.
And you stink, man.
I'm stinky. I'm painful.
Jesus.
Yeah, man.
All right, Mark. What?
It's like walking into like a warm bathroom after someone showers, except instead of steam, it's stink.
I know,
I mean,
it's
it's
heavy.
like it's on me,
so
man.
heavy. I can't believe how heavy it is. It's like it's weighing down my shoulders. It's so heavy. Take a whiff
smells
of that. Take a whiff of that.
Why didn't he just walk in?
Hair
with
club.
us?
The second time that I can remember, and God,
I told you. It's like, is it weighing down
This
your
is
shoulders?
unbelievable.
no,
Weighing down your shoulders.
you know, I'm walking down the hall,
Ladies and gentlemen, hair
and
club,
about
hair
thank
club
you.
in the studio.
It's got to be 30 feet past Castle's office, Taz's office, and I smell something. And for all of you listening, a studio is airtight.
Right.
It's soundproof.
It's not fart proof.
And it broke through that, and it reeks like
Did you
in the
think it was
hallway.
me?
Wait a minute.
Did you assume it was me?
Dude, walk down the hallway and tell me that doesn't reek in the hallway.
it's funky in here now.
Once before.
How bad does
For
this
like
smell?
an entire 2 hours. That was the sound of Castle unable to breathe in his office.
It stinks in my studio, and it's separated by double pane glass.
Dude, I mean,
happened
this is awful. This is like the worst fart I've ever smelled in my life. And I fart all the time.
Buttermilk?
Dude, I don't know.
No.
Should I get? I can go poop.
I think you need a doctor.
unbelievable.
I think you need to call a doctor. I think we need a doctor in here.
Jesus.
God damn, man.
Hair club, everyone. You can in fact smell it all the way down
You
the
can
hallway.
smell it in there, Ben.
Yeah, right when Hair Club walked in, I was like, why is he walking in? And I'm like, oh, it's drifting into here now.
In another room.
There's 2 doors between us.
God damn, man.
I got to go into the hallway and then into the studio. It's not like it's a direct door like that leads to this studio. There's 2 doors and double pane glass between us.
Mark, can you smell it?
No, I can't, but that is awesome.
Dude, it's unbelievable. I mean, this is
So thick.
unbelievable.
I can't
man.
believe it hasn't dissipated.
I know. It's like it's not going anywhere.
Just sitting there.
It's like a pet.
It really is. It's like a fog that won't lift.
It's like a loyal fart.
It's unbelievable.
It smells so goddamn bad.
What is he doing?
Just walk by. Hair Club's like, where's the spray? I'm like, it's in the studio. You got to go back and get it.
All right. So, Mark, what did you know, a person or a place?
I don't remember.
At this point in time, I believe we tried to continue the show.
I think so.
But the weird thing about this was that
Everything?
very rarely in your life are you involved in a fart that you have on tape.
Yeah, I think
not that you heard the audio version of it, but you heard the reaction.
All right, listen, I'm going to share this.
This is the first documented fart of that level, I believe, ever on recorded radio.
I'm going to share this with you, and this reminds me of this is so stupid. So when you were growing up as a child, one of the things that you get assigned to do a lot of times at school, hey kids, talk to your parents, ask them about some significant historical events. What were you doing at the time? So like for my age group, it was when Kennedy was assassinated. MLK was assassinated, right? These are the things. Yeah. And you would talk to your grandparents maybe about Pearl Harbor. If you're lucky, you don't have these stories, but lo and behold, in spite of about 20 years apiece, the moment comes where that goes away. And I realize as an adult, young adult, I have my first moment of, oh man, if I have kids, because at the time I don't have kids, they're not even in a thought, but if I have kids and they ask me this question, if I'm honest with them, here's the answer I give. So one of the first significant events that happened in my lifetime where it would warrant a historical question was the first Persian Gulf War, okay? This is the first Persian Gulf War. For my age group at this time, I'm about 20 years old. Vietnam had been the thing. At this point, that's about 20 years behind us. So it was new and it was different for my generation to go, wow, man, we were actually shipping guys overseas not to maintain the peace, but to engage in conflict. Now, we knew that this was coming, but the first thing that we did, we flew the sorties. That's where we all learned the term sorties, which is where the planes go out and do the thing. So we knew it was coming, but back then, unlike now, you did not just openly discuss classified information. So you knew it was coming, but you didn't know the date. So me and my roommate, we're the only two home, but I was, and I should be ashamed, I should be embarrassed. Honestly, I don't care until my kids ask. But if they do ask, hey, the first Persian Gulf War, because obviously in our history that's going to become an important thing, what were you doing when you found out it started? So my parents with JFK, I mean, it's a long, harrowing, sobering story. The Apollo moon landing, it's pretty cool. If my kids ask me and I tell them truth, it'll be this. Daddy had a cheap apartment in the basement of a Baltimore row home, and he was actively straddling a portable tape recorder recording his 40-second fart. This is not a lie. Well, my roommate Leon came busting in my bedroom to say, hey, man, we started bombing Iraq. Keep in mind, at the time, this was monumental. It's kind of par for the course now, but nothing like that was going on. But I truly, when it came in, I had one leg up on the foot of my bed, one leg on the floor. Tape recorder in between it, and I was recording my farts. Now, why would I record my farts? One, because I think it's funny. But beyond that, I was in a band at the time. We were about to put out our next release, and we were going to take this big digitized thing of all my farts and make it an interlude. It makes sense to me, but there's still something I'm like, if my kids ask me about this, if I'm honest, like, Daddy was recording farts.
Yeah, he was.
And then you fast forward all these years later, farts are still the thing.
So there you go with episode number
75. 75.
You've been listening to The Greatest Story Never Told with Miles and Thrill on radio.com.
Oh, man! A Double Flush production.